Welcome viewers, you're watching NewsX and I'm Vaishali Kohli. Now the Supreme Court on Monday signaled that a decision on handing over the investigation into the death of model actor Twisha Sharma to the Central Bureau of Investigation will be taken shortly. Following key assurances from the central government, a bench led by Chief Justice of India Surya Kant subsequently disposed of the suo motu case, granting all involved parties the liberty to pursue further legal remedies before the appropriate forums. In a hearing marked by sharp observations on public trial dynamics, the apex court strongly advocated for a fair and impartial probe while issuing a stern warning to the media, the victim's family and the accused's family to exercise restraint. Expressing deep concern over the intense public and media trial surrounding the sensational case, Chief Justice Surya Kant emphasized that justice must not be derailed by public relation battles. Don't go for the statements of the victim's family or the other family, Chief Justice Surya Kant observed. During the proceedings, Solicitor General Tushar Mehta, representing the centre, assured the court that a decision on transferring the case to the federal agency was imminent. Reflecting on the gravity of the case, the Solicitor General remarked, "It is better to have a divorced daughter than face such an unfortunate incident. The death of the model actor has sparked intense media scrutiny and widespread public interest over the last few weeks. In response to the escalating media frenzy, the Supreme Court has restrained potential witnesses and the accused from making public statements." Let's take a look now, viewers, at the Supreme Court's order regarding the case so far. Let me show you that, viewers. Let's deep dive into this. Now, Twisha Sharma death case, the Supreme Court order is what we're discussing. The CBI investigation. Main issue is handover of investigation to the CBI. Solicitor General Tushar Mehta has assured immediate CBI takeover. Now let's talk about the family member statements. Now request both families to make statements before investigative agencies rather than public or the media. On media covering the case, request media to avoid recording statements of potential witnesses to avoid unnecessary impact or prejudice. On public speculation, request public to refrain from speculation, have trust and faith in the investigative agency. On the CBI investigation, we have not expressed any opinion, entirely on investigating agency to look into the different aspects. So that is, of course, the Supreme Court order and its strong take on the public scrutiny when it's coming and the media scrutiny when it's coming to this case. So this, viewers, is the latest that we've put together for you, the latest developments in this case. And I do have Tahira Hassan, who's a women's rights activist, and I also have Ikran Sharma, who's a Supreme Court advocate. I want to go across to you, Tahira. Now, Tahira, what has happened is not for the first, this hasn't happened for the first time, but this particular case has drawn all of the attention possible. And what do you have to say now on the latest developments and the directions coming in from the Supreme Court?
No, I welcome that Supreme Court has taken the suo motu of this Twisha suicide case and handed over the investigation to CBI. This is what the victims' parents also wanted for such a long time. So I think it's a good step that the Supreme Court has taken. Again, the Supreme Court stood with the women. And Supreme Court had asked that the victim family as well as accused family should not give the statements on public platform. So this is what I was saying, that the way this accused mother was giving the statements, bizarre statements, character assassination of the daughter-in-law who's no more in this world, you know. So these things must be avoided, and the Supreme Court has taken the strong action against it. Now, neither the victim family nor the accused family can give these kind of statements. And especially when the person is not in this world. So there should be a pain about it because the precious life has been lost. And that you are giving such a bizarre statements on the public platform, in the media and all. So I think it's better that because these things influence the investigation. But thing is this is one thing I want to say, that the belt has not been handed over to police. This is what again I'm saying. So that was very important for the forensic as well as scientific investigation. Stretching of the belt, fingerprints, DNA. But for these things, the belt was very important. Important. So why that was not handed over to police, and why the police did not ask for that? So these things are there, and if these evidences will be tampered, that in the Nirbhaya case, when the Justice Sharma committee was constituted, these things were taken in account. It was said that the police must collect all evidences properly, because the evidences, if collect scientific way and will be produced in the court, the honorable court will give the judgment on those evidences which will be collected. If the evidences will be tampered, justice will not be given. But this time, I think the Supreme Court is strong on this issue. So I have hope that justice will be delivered. And justice not should only be delivered, but should be seen to be delivered. होते हुए दिखना भी चाहिए कि जनता को लगे कि हाँ, highest court of the land is with us. So I think this should also be taken in consideration, but I am sure that these developments will give justice to Twisha. We want justice for Twisha.
You know, Tahira, the people will notice that the judiciary, the law is with them also when these things completely stop happening. But yes, I get your point. I want to go across to Mr. Ikran Sharma. He's a Supreme Court advocate. Now, Mr. Sharma, my question to you is, what legal standards does the court consider before transferring a probe to the CBI?
Now, this is a very, I think we should welcome this order passed by the Honorable Supreme Court, and these sort of orders should be a precedent for the others also to follow up. Because if we look into this matter, there's a very peculiar case where the judicial officers, who are retired judicial officers, families are involved. And I'm really surprised because we are already watching the media and the statements which have been made by the lady, the mother-in-law, and she is undoubtedly and admittedly she is a part and parcel of the judicial system. She is aware about all the proceedings and when the investigation, how the investigation take place, and what is the importance of the investigation for the fair trial. Now, this was very strange that being into the part of that, she came to the media. She gave such a statements that basically that statement should not be made, in fact. And the Honorable Supreme Court has taken it on a very, has taken into this consideration and passed such an order so that the matter should be transferred to the CBI because the CBI would be doing this matter, investigating this matter on a fair trial. And second thing is that the statement which I just wanted to refresh, made by the Solicitor General Tushar Mehta, made the remark that it was better to have a divorced daughter than a dead one. So we should consider about these things, that if at all there was something going on and the meeting of minds and the temperaments were not matching together, then these sort of incidents are not at all been accepted. Now, I'll come into the investigation part. The matter is at the investigation part, and the investigation, now it should be fair, and the trial should be fair. But being the capacity of if we look about the capacity and the links and the context of the accused persons, now it has been very clear that they are ready to manage things, influence certain things, and that's the only reason the investigation are not being carried out in a proper way. Now the matter, we just feel that when the matter is referred to the CBI, investigation will be done properly. there should not be any statements on the media so that the investigation should not be hampered. And the third thing is that we pray that the justice should be delivered, and the justice should be delivered at a very quick time, in a short time, so that it can be present for the others.
All right, I want to go back with this to Tahira. Tahira, this statement, now of course we've discussed what the Supreme Court has said, but the statement that it's better to have a divorced daughter than end up like this. Do you think that in India people still need to not have these kind of perceptions about a marriage ending? Because Tahira, whatever said and done, and my condolences are with the family, the grieving family. I cannot imagine what the father and the mother must be going through at this point, especially yesterday when her last rites were performed. But in the same breath, I would like to say that she made many distress calls to her parents through messages, texts, and she said, my marriage is not right. Do you think parents should come out and support their daughters in time before any of this happens?
Yes, my message is to all parents of who have daughter, that when they get the frantic calls or call stress, when the daughter calls in stress and say that I can't live here, I am going through the trauma. So there should be no word of your dictionary, compromise, adjust, everything will be fine within few days. No, don't do like that. Ask your daughter, walk out of this abusive marriage, toxic marriage, walk out. We are with you, because your daughter's life is very precious. You know, prepare your daughter not only for marriage, an adjustment and a compromise, but make her a strong woman. So here she was I think very good career she had, and she was very successful professionally. That too, she needed an emotional support. She was not able to come out from the house. Mother had to take it very seriously. These calls in stress that daughter has made. She even the WhatsApp chat, she said, you know, this man is does not trust me. It says, whose child you are carrying? You know, when the character assassination had started, one of her friends said that he used to call her in front everybody Gawar, and used to say that you have no knowledge of the subject you have studied. What is this? You are humiliating, you are just assaulting on her dignity. That takes the self-confidence of the woman. So I think I want to say to every parent, I mean, this is my message from your channel NewsX, that please take it seriously. Your daughter's life is very precious. Don't go for compromise and adjust. Please stand with your daughter and ask her, walk out from this abusive and toxic marriage. No adjustment in toxic marriage. I mean, this is a high time now. Parents must learn this.
You know, Tahira, the conditioning is that women must adjust from marriage, and all women are told how to handle a marriage from a very young age. But are men being prepared for marriage as well, is the question that we're asking. Thank you to both my guests for joining me on the broadcast. And now the Assam government viewers on